Yeah, man. What's up, y'all? Hope y'all good, man.
Some of us are better than others.
Yeah, man. What's up, y'all? Hope y'all good, bro. See, the point is it's always a matter of understanding what you have. Like life lessons is all just always understand what your limitations are. If you understand your limitations, you will always know how to thrive. The problem comes down to when you look at something, right? And you understand that something is bad. Like you see the flaws, and you look at the flaws, you're like, I get that part, man. That makes perfect sense. And you look on the other side, like, all right, there's flaws over there too, you know? And then you think, all right, cool. Three things. Wear white to the stadium. I don't understand why you're showing up in red Phil Sims jerseys or blue Rodney Hampton. We asked for what? We don't ask for nothing. We haven't been 2-0 in eons. We don't ask for nothing but a whiteout. Y'all can't do that right. Cool. Looking at the stadium. I understand Dallas travels well. Always. There's going to be some of y'all in here. Makes perfect sense. Look up at the screen. There's an hour straight of Des Bryant on the podcast. And I could have sworn this game was a home game for the Giants. And I'm watching Des run around on the field just waving to the crowd and shit, and I don't hear no boos. That's part two, and that just came to me about 8 minutes before now. Part two, and I didn't hear no Dez boos. This is Dez Bryant. Like he was part of the problem for us for so long because we couldn't cover this month, man. Like, and now he's running around with a Walker Texas Ranger hat waving and no boos. Zero boos for Dez. Cool.
He chilling, man. He
I get
retired and
it, bro.
chilling, baby.
I
He chilling.
understand. I understand. I get it. The problem is, and we understand this, when you don't hear my cries about Daniel Jones, when I come on here every week and I text whoever, anybody who's ever known me knows the name Daniel Jones and there's pain involved. And I get it, bro. 2-0. We at home. Cooper Rush on the other side. On Crip, Cooper Rush is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones. That's on the set. That's on gang. Cooper Rush,
Y'all had him.
I prom
Y'all
first of
had him
all, Jason
twice.
Garrett weak ass
Y'all had
brought
him
Cooper Rush
twice.
over. The only we had him and we looked and we said, nah, we need Danny. We need Dan.
No, no, no. But y'all had him as a backup, and we're like, nah, he ain't
We
good enough.
need Dan. That's who we need. If y'all call this motherfucker dimes one more time, I promise my hands work.
It's the
Like I
most
promise I can fight.
like
I
you
can
understand. All other fan bases use that ironically, the Danny Dimes thing, but Giants fans are just run with it for real, which is hilarious to us, to all of us, because y'all use it
who
unironically.
who's y'all? Like I said, say every time you say y'all, I get mad. Like I'm just trying to understand this y'all word.
Hey, hey,
So I'm
hey,
what?
hey, hey. Wait. You haven't even
How
mentioned
many
the part where you have Daniel
how many
Jones,
touch
and you needed a
how
big
many touches
game.
did Saquon get last night?
18. And what did I say
Okay,
before the game? I said 25 to 30.
18,
I said 25 to
18
30.
times for a guy who they
18.
couldn't really rock, who they couldn't really contain, dog.
We couldn't.
But you know what? We go up 13-6. Cool. Every
Y'all
Giants
feeling
fan and
good.
they
Y'all's
mama know.
feeling
No, no,
good.
no. Who's y'all? You keep saying y'all. I get mad every time you say y'all. Soon as we went up 13-6, I know. Oh, we about to give it up. But now we got the pass rushers back. We got Aziz back. We got Kayvon fresh off the leg. Thibodeau. We good. Cooper Rush could have just stood in a box the whole night and they wouldn't even got to the box to knock on it and be like, yo, chill. He just stood there, bro. CD drops open touchdowns. He goes down. All of a sudden, who's the wide receiver from any given Sunday who all of a sudden who Bill Bellamy do now he's Bill Bellamy level receiver catching everything one handed cooking. We're gonna go 1-on-one down at the goal line on a guy who we can't cover. We know Adoree Jackson is 4'9", dog. 4'9". Everything CD does is better than everything Adoree does. But that's cool. Go 1-on-1 down there. Cooper Rush is not going to make the throw.
And yet you
No.
were so confident last week. What
Who
happened? What
confident? What
happened?
confident? Did I say, yo, it's a win? It's a wrap. No, it's y'all beat us 9 out of 10. Can we get one win when
No, no,
y'all
no, no. This ain't the tone. But that ain't the
can we get
tone you
one win by
had.
y'all ass? The tone I had
Yeah,
was it's
but
Cooper
you
Rush. Zeke
the tone you
washed,
had was it's
which
our
he is.
time.
Which he
NFC
is.
East leading Dallas or
They
New
were.
York Giants. You
They
said
were
no,
they
but you said it
not?
with your chest. But you said
But
it
were
with
they
your chest,
not?
baby.
What
You act like
part?
I don't know
Stop me when I
you. Well, I
lie.
know you, but
Stop
I
me when I
know
lie,
you.
bro.
Your chest was
Stop me
puffed
when I
out.
lie.
Your
What are you
chest was
talking?
puffed
Dory
out.
cold as a DB, cold as in stiff and can't move because he's ice.
He's not,
Yeah, bro, he
not bad.
cold. He
He's
cold.
not bad.
Come on, bro.
He's not bad. Like
Come on,
he's
bro.
a legitimate starting
All right, bro.
caliber NFL quarterback.
Clearly, because we starting them.
I
Burnt
mean, y'all
toast,
started with
dog.
Eli Apple. Y'all started Eli Apple in a certain
Oh,
point,
Eli Apple. Now, hey,
but
let's go to the draft.
okay, okay,
Now we're
okay.
gonna go down
Look,
into the
look,
draft,
look.
and we got
You
Justin Field.
you
But here's what I don't understand, bro.
at,
13-6.
thirteen
Everybody thought, nah, it's
six.
a wrap. Now the pass rush can get busy. And do
No,
what?
no,
Get busy doing what?
13-6. Your defense had an opportunity
To
and
do
they
what?
failed
Be great,
miserably.
right? Why?
If they
Of
if
course
they
they
get off
did.
that and they failed miserably.
Of course
Um,
they do.
Cooper Rush is a good NFL backup quarterback, which very
He
well might
is.
be better than Daniel Jones. Like all jokes
What do you
aside,
mean
at least
very
he stays
well? He's better. You know what? Daniel Jones is Cooper Rush with a view of the skyline, bro. That's all he
Who
is.
hurt you? Who hurt you? You
What
knew
do you
that Daniel
mean,
Jones
bro?
sucked. You knew that
I've
Daniel
no,
Jones
but I
sucked.
need everybody to know he ass. And we look
Yeah,
at
but
Tyrod every week like, yo, man, that dude alright, man.
you sounded so confident last week. I just want to know what happened. What
Because
happened to
who would
that
have thought,
bravado?
bro? Cooper
What happened to
Rush,
that? I did.
Cooper
I
Rush.
predicted in this
Micah
space.
got the mumps, and we can't stop Micah from shedding a block
So
and then running
so
over a
so
dude while
so
shedding a block.
here's okay. That was just Mike is different, bro.
What do you
Here's
mean, bro? Jason
here's
Peters
the
is
thing.
79 years old, bro.
There was not going to be a universe where Daniel Jones was 3-0.
What do
That's
you
what I believe in my
mean, bro?
soul
What do you
because
talk?
that dude's
Oh my
terrible.
god, bro!
How's it year 4 and y'all still don't y'all the only ones that
It's
don't
not year
realize?
4. It's year 5.
No, is this year
No, it's
5?
year
I thought y'all
4.
didn't. It's year 4. Yeah, y'all didn't pick
We
up
didn't
his
pick up
option.
his option.
Y'all didn't
No,
pick up his
I need
option.
hi- I
Um,
need somebody to write his option out on a piece of paper and rip it up in front of him. I just need him to. I need somebody to write the word option and just me shaking my head behind it. That's it.
hey, look, what
I need
I
a
know.
bobblehead of
Look. They're here to hear us talk about fantasy. I'm not even
cool.
gonna get
It's a
on you other
fantasy
than
thinking that
other
Daniel
than
Jones.
other than
That's what a
Daniel
fantasy is.
Jones was
Thinking
needed. Oh, I almost forgot. I actually played you this weekend and I beat you there too.
oh, that league, I have no idea what that team is ass. That team is big trash for no reason. No
I don't
reason.
know either. Like I don't know
It's
either.
no reason. You look
Like
at it on paper, you're like, yo, he drafted that shit. Wow, this team sucks. It doesn't matter. Fantasy is just a bag of stupid, bro. It don't matter what we say. It doesn't, yo. It doesn't. You changing your name to Guru. You got a W. I'm glad about your WB. I don't want you to lose. I don't want
I'm
these
not going
motherfuckers
to.
to win.
I'm not going to.
I don't want these.
Not until we get to the
Oh,
semifinals and the final. Anyway, I'm not going to.
oh no.
Until we get to the semifinal or the
We
final.
got ways
Like
to
I'm
make
not saying
sure
I'm
you're gonna
win.
be all right.
I'm not saying I'm going to win the league, but I'm not. Come on,
That
it's
one,
me.
yeah, that was
It's
stupid,
me.
bro. I hate
It's
everything
me.
about that
Like
league.
I don't. I don't.
I don't know what you want to get into first, bro. What you want to get into first? You want to get into the Pats first? You want to get into
it's it's
Ramondre Stevenson first?
it's
Let's
it's
talk
it's
about
your
Ramondre
call.
early.
You got it, baby. Like I'm gonna let you cook today. It's Victory
Ah,
Tuesday. I got to watch my
Victory
team.
Tuesday. Now we
I got to
naming
watch
shit,
my
man. That
look, 10 of
you didn't
11
mention that, bro.
dominance
You
dominance
didn't.
over a
Now we
division
talking about
foe
the
on
dominance.
primetime television has a way
Here we
of
go with the
uplifting
prime time
spirits.
shit, man.
You know, feeling
So,
good. Feeling good.
bet, bro.
Had 2 cups of OJ today, got all that vitamin
Don't
C.
say
I'm feeling
OJ.
good. I'm feeling good. I'm
Vitamin
feeling
C. Now
good,
you think of
baby.
OJ.
Feeling
I
good,
care
man.
what you
Feeling
drink,
good.
man. That shit
I
is
mean,
nuts.
I mean, they don't need to care. All I cared about was getting a victory last night, and your night being
Um,
ruined and being
oh, here's the
reminded
worst part.
that
The
Daniel
worst part
Jones is
is
trash.
there's nobody in the world whose football knowledge I trust more than this dude on the other side of the screen. 2 weeks ago, listen, I know my squad. I know us. We not winning till Thanksgiving, B.
We
And I'm like,
suck.
no, y'all go, no,
No, we
don't,
ain't bad. We ain't bad.
nah, relax, no,
No,
please, no,
no, no.
shut up. I'm gonna
You know
mute
what?
you. Don't play with me. We gonna cut this man. So my man, nah, man, y'all all right. Y'all got defense. I know my team. I've been watching them since I was in. You know what I'm saying? We ain't been. I've been watching since Biggie was alive. Cool, bro. I hear you. You make perfect sense. We not going till Thanksgiving. B. Y'all win last week. I don't want to be like, oh man, y'all got some things. Nope. I see the jig hovering. Then your favorite line. I know you see the jig hovering. I saw the jig hovering too. But my
I
man,
still
no,
see it
we
hovering.
trash. We gonna be
I still
y'all.
y'all get some
We gonna be
rapper.
garbage.
Y'all
We
suck
gonna be
more. Yeah,
trash.
that's
That's it.
cool.
We not winning until
Sounds delightful.
Thanksgiving, B. You know what I'm saying? You
I
can't
was
trust
wrong.
nobody. That's all this
I
world
was
tells you.
wrong.
You can't
I
trust
feel.
anyone,
I
bro.
feel. I feel. I
Don't
feel
trust
great.
anybody who
Like,
tells you.
hey, Cooper Rush has. He's been 3-0 as a backup. At this point, I feel good. We got
3-0 is
Washington
a
on
back.
Sunday. We got Washington. Three fourth quarter comebacks in those games. We got Washington Sunday. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm feeling cautiously optimistic.
God damn, Daniel Jones sucks, bro.
Cautiously optimistic.
Word to,
And
and you know what?
bad
Peace
Wentz
to
showed
Shep,
up too.
man.
Bad Wentz
Bad
showed back up too.
bad
Everything
Wentz
feels
showed up
right in the
heavy.
world. Philly's going to run away with the division, but you know what? Cowboys
Yeah.
defense get Dak back. Maybe we can sneak a wild card before we go out shamelessly in the
Now
wild
you
card round.
wild carding.
I
This went
said
from we're not
maybe,
winning till
maybe.
Thanksgiving to wild card. I hate everything about football, bro. It's the worst sport ever made, B.
It ain't the. Hey, we got Washington, got a chance. Then we got the Rams after. Give Dak another week. You could eat that L. Have him come back for the Philly game, feeling right.
Oh shit! I almost ate this notebook out of sadness. Um, yeah, man. Don't ever trust your friends and don't trust Daniel Jones. That's it. When they
Don't
say
trust the
somebody,
Giants. Y'all hearing
oh,
today that y'all promised Micah y'all were going to take him, and
I'm
then
surprised you didn't. Sure
and
did.
then deciding
Traded
to,
away from him and
or
Justin
you could have
Fields.
taken and Justin Fields, and then taking Kadarius Toney, who to this point in his career has had one phenomenal game and nothing more than flashes. It brings joy. It brings me such
There
immense
is a
joy.
legit shot Kadarius Tony doesn't play another down for the Giants.
Why?
Like,
Like all jokes aside, I'm
be-
not trying to joke. Like why?
because there's talk about them moving on from him already.
Send him to Dallas. Send him to Dallas.
Oh,
Send him. Look,
pain,
look, look.
pain
I've seen
lives
the
here,
light with
bro.
Kadarius Tony. Just real quick, I've seen the light. He's smaller, but I've seen the light.
Yes,
Cordero Patterson, he needs to play running back somewhere. Stop trying to make him a route runner. Put the ball in his hands and let him go. Just put the ball in his hands and let him go.
just
If
get
you want him to be part
playmakers,
of a
bro.
structure, he is not going to accomplish what you want him to
He's not.
accomplish. He is
He's not.
Percy Harvin. He is not Randall
Yes,
Cobb.
yes,
So
one
send him
hundred
somewhere
percent.
else. Yeah, get him out the
Peter
division.
Warwick, this
Because
dude. Treat him like Peter Warwick they did back in the day. Put him
yeah,
everywhere in the field, get the ball in
but
space. Peter was
Peter
special.
Ward, but he
I
failed in the
understand that,
NFL.
bro.
At least in terms of
He
what we
did.
expected, he failed. All
He
right, come on,
did.
let's get to this fantasy because I don't want to
This
talk
is a
about this
fantasy.
sadness no more.
Giants winning is a fantasy, bro. This is fantasy football at its best. This is fantasy football at its finest. I don't know what you're talking about.
My man's
I've been
is so
talking about
hurt.
fantasy the whole time.
My man's
This
is
shit
so
is
hurt.
sad, bro. This shit is painful. I had to call Banks on last night with the Grant Hills on. I was looking extra beautiful for no reason, bro. I
Just to
can't wait
lose,
just to
just to
lose.
watch it.
Oh
And
wow, you
and
got a whole
here's the worst thing
whiteout.
about primetime losses is you just got to go right to bed after.
Just like you
You
gotta
ain't
go
even
straight to
got
sleep.
you ain't even got no time to
You gotta
chill,
go straight to sleep.
digest it.
I ate a cookie like
You
a
looking
good
at
kid
you,
and went to
you
sleep.
looking at you looking at your alarm clock like, damn, I can get 7 hours if I go now. That sounds good.
That
Good
sound
night's sleep. I'll
cool.
feel better. But then
Sound
you wake
cool.
up and like, but at the first 30 seconds, you good. then you remember that pain of Cooper Rush coming in to crush the
You
buildings.
know, I'm not even. It's not even anger, bro. It's just like I can't
Cooper
believe
Rush.
I thought Daniel Jones would have like been less than like he's the. Oh no, blame it on the Galladay drop. Okay, bro, blame it on everything.
Galladay is shameful. That dude is
He
shameful.
stinks. He sucks. I wish Dave Gettleman would pick up his phone. 'Cause I keep calling him asking why, dog, but he
Oh,
won't pick up his
oh,
phone.
and best
Word to
wishes to
Shep,
Sterling
man.
Shepard. Like that, that
Listen,
was awful to see. That
Shep,
that was
Shep, I love you, but please don't play football again. Please, man. It's been a lot, man. Your body's telling you just chill. You were brilliant. You're young. Go get a good job somewhere analyzing. You got paid. Just don't like he slowed down on the route and still tore it. Like it's just he's not. His body's just telling him, nah, man. His body's
there's
telling him,
just
nah.
no more
Love you, Shep.
football in him. There's no more football in him, and I wish
There's
him the
not.
best. Like
Love you, Shep.
rival teams, but you never want to see injuries, especially when
No,
somebody gets
no,
that
especially
deep.
not like that.
Like
No, nothing like
you
that.
never want to see it. So big ups to him. Um, but for the moment, I'm going to concentrate on the fact that we won. Y'all lost. I went
Yo,
5-2 amongst leagues this week. Not bad. A couple losses that I wouldn't have liked, but things are coming together.
I
Things are
lost
coming
every
together.
league I'm gonna end this week, B. Like this was the wildest week I've ever had in fantasy. I kept looking and scrolling. You know how you scroll to the left, thinking that like the score. You know, like when the projections change and it puts you within like 10 and you down 80. You're like, oh, all right. So if I get AJ Dillon to throw this touchdown to Romeo Dobbs, I'm gonna be all right. Just run that package. I don't know if someone
Okay,
got that
can
in the
can we
package
can we?
for
All jokes
free.
aside, can we start there? Romeo Dobbs, you mentioned to me off air a couple days
Yeah.
before the season I need to get on him.
Hmm.
I actually did pick him up in a couple places, and I already moved on because things happen. You see things after
Right.
week one, you want to kind of play around with things. But
Right.
how real do we think that is? Like, okay, so you're going into waivers tomorrow. The
Mm-hmm.
way I see it is in terms of what's generally available. There are two names that immediately jump out. If you are in a league where Jamal Williams is available, even if it's a 3 week run, he is a
Hmm.
legitimate high end RB2 for the next 3 weeks. He
Hmm.
would be a severe primary target.
I'm gonna treat you if your second
And
guy is
if
my second guy.
Dobbs is what he
Okay.
looks like he might be, that
It
is
can get
more than
very.
intriguing. Because
It is.
look, you could see a scenario where you pick him up and he's never consistent enough to play him. I could completely see that. I could also see a scenario where you pick him up and he becomes a wide receiver two, wide receiver three sort of a player.
Right.
That is intriguing. So those would be the two guys. Now, how you want to set your waiver order, I can't tell you. If you play in a league where you play with fab dollars, I don't know how much I'm willing to put on this, but I do know that it is
Dobbs,
very, very interesting.
$4, five, nothing crazy. Here's where I am with Dobbs. Um,
The
obviously
the
like him coming.
potential is intriguing. The potential is
Obviously like him
intriguing,
coming into
certainly.
the year.
Hmm.
As Lazard gets healthier, I think Rogers is going to trust him more to start looking
Lazard
at
looked
him for
pretty. He
targets.
looked pretty good this week. He looked pretty
He
decent this week.
They love him in the red zone. He's amazing. He runs all those throws, all those zip throws that you need good hands to catch. Rogers trusts Lazard for those. So those are all going to be. So I don't think
Look,
red zone you're looking at Romeo Dobbs there. I think you're looking at one of those two running backs and you're looking at Lazard red zone wise.
so like if I have the choice between the Packers wide receivers, I want Lazard. Just to be
Right.
clear, I
Right.
just feel a lot more secure in his role. That being said, Dobbs is interesting. That all I'm saying is it was very
Yeah.
interesting to see him get that level of target share over the
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah. And
So it's
it
interesting.
made sense. It made sense game plan wise versus that defense as well too. Because that
No,
defense
absolutely, absolutely.
that defense is made to stop the run. That defense can cover downfield well,
Mhm.
but getting those intermediate roles, getting him the rollout underneath, jet sweep, play action things to Dobbs, a lot of those little things are nice because when he gets in space, he works well. Um, Christian
Oh,
Watson was
what
out. Sammy Watkins
Eh,
was out again. You know, like
Jimmy
I
Watkins is on
don't.
IR, so we'll see him
Sammy
in a
Watkins on
month, and then he'll
IR.
get
We're
hurt
not
again.
worried about
Like
him.
we know what
Um,
it is.
Randall Cobb is not. I, what I'll say about Dobbs is he's going to be what people kind of hoped Randall Cobb would be, as far as this is a guy who I want to get secondary wide receiver targets to. I said that I think the best rookie wide receiver on this team is going to be Romeo Dobbs. I don't think Watson is going to have that.
You did say this, which is why this particular again. I'm not going crazy over 1 week. He had,
No,
I think, four
you
total
can't.
targets the first couple weeks. Um,
You
and
can't.
shout out to Mac Hollins in Vegas because I don't know what that was, but it bears
He would,
watching.
because of him being
I
so
get that Adams
good
gets
attacking the
plenty of
ball.
attention, but that was you get double digit targets, and I am looking. I am curious. So we'll see what happens there as well. I'm sorry, I didn't want to get too far off on a tangent. The Dobbs thing was just very, very interesting
It
to
is
me watching that
interesting.
game. Um,
The third player I would say though, I don't know. People might have him on there. Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert.
Most of the leagues I'm in, he was picked
He's
up
gone.
either in the
Okay.
draft or very, very early on waivers.
Okay.
I have one league where he's available. I did put in a claim. We'll see what happens. I'm like at the towards the bottom of the claims list, so we'll see what
Okay.
happens. Um, the thing about the Herbert thing that makes it so interesting to me is when he gets the full complement of touches, he looks better than Montgomery. When they are both playing together, Montgomery tends to seem to work best within that platoon.
Yeah.
But when they just go one back, Herbert just looks explosive. It's
Here's what I
interesting. It's interesting because I think that we'll see if Montgomery misses time because there's some thought that
right.
he might actually play this weekend, so we'll see there. But if Herbert gets a couple weeks in that number one role, I'm not here to suggest that he's taking the job, but I think that's going to become much, much closer to a 50-50 situation than anybody anticipated in the preseason.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he becomes very interesting, but it's also a matter of can a bad offense support two running backs that are viable, or do they just both become bench fodder? So we'll see where
Yeah.
that goes.
Yeah. I mean, Montgomery's usage is always good. Here's what. Now, I think, and this is not indicative player to player, with Khalil Herbert, his ceiling is higher because you
Absolutely.
have David Montgomery who has to share with Khalil Herbert. When you have Khalil Herbert and there's no one to take him off the field like Herbert takes Montgomery off the field. So the usage
Oh,
is going to be
Herbert,
more. The
if
ceiling is
Montgomery's
higher
if
there.
Montgomery's out, I think
Herbert
that
becomes a
Herbert
top 10,
top
12
10
guy.
to 12. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
he's that guy, and he can run all the same way. He looked really good when he came in. He just looked
He
not
looked
just
excellent.
fresh, he
He looked excellent.
decisive up and down. His hands are good. He's legit. So that's something to look out to. Other than that, like waivers have been odd this year. You just got to find out believe what you believe. If you think you see something, go after it. Spend a dollar here, spend no
Um,
dollars here. If
one
you don't think
more,
anybody
one
sees it,
one more. If he's still available in your leagues at this point, I want to say in Yahoo he's available in about 30-40%, so it's not a huge number.
huh?
If Jack Conklin is still available in your league, you should absolutely put a claim in for him.
Tyler Conklin, you mean the dude from the Jets?
Tyler Conklin. Excuse me. Why did I say Jack Conklin? That he's an offensive tackle. Anyway, Tyler Conklin. They
Right.
paid him for a reason. I get the hesitance with Zach Wilson coming back, but they paid him to be a weapon for Zach
They did.
Wilson.
They
Um,
did.
he has had an immense target share. Even if you think that's going to drop a bit from tight end, if you can find a tight end that is not touchdown dependent and viable to get you, it sounds pitiful, but can get you 10 points on a consistent basis. That is
It
very
matters.
valuable this year. So if you are in a league where Tyler Conklin is available, put in a claim. 3 weeks is a
It
large enough sample size, and he's got enough
matters.
targets in each week that I feel comfortable saying he is going to be a large part, a reasonably sized part of that offense. An offense that, though not good, as we discussed in preseason, is fairly intriguing. They can
Right.
move the ball some, so you can have multiple players within that offense that are viable options, whether it
Agreed.
be a tight end, flex spot. I don't feel good about Brees or Carter as a running back too, but I feel fine with either of them as a flex. So it's an interesting offense. It's a
It
very
is.
interesting offense.
It is. Before we get into what stood out and what makes us nervous from there, quick question: do I cut Robbie Anderson and Michael Carter for Jamal Williams and Njoku? Tight ends are Gasicki, get him out of here. Dalton Schultz. Um, I
I'd be more inclined to
one
cut Gasicki immediately and then figure that
immediately.
out from there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gasicki doesn't need to be there. Dalton Schultz is expected back in a week, but Njoku is worth a flyer. Um, I don't really feel great about cutting Michael Carter until I have more clarity in New York. He
right.
had two really productive weeks, then a bad week where he got a decent amount of touches. It just didn't go quite the way that you'd want it to go. So I'm not out on Carter in that way. Um, and who was the other one? Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson. Yeah, get Robbie out of here.
That Carolina offense, like Baker's bad. Baker's freaking terrible.
He's not good. He's
Like
not good.
DJ Moore seems unplayable. Like if I don't have any DJ Moore in any league. I did like him in the preseason. I just don't have any of them. Didn't work out. I don't know how you play him this week with any type of confidence. I don't know
DJ's
how
on
you
that
do it.
team where you beat me this week. Like that team coming in, I thought DJ Moore had a
Was going to get a huge
floor
target share. Was going to get a
of
huge.
one because of his target. He is. I
But
mean, do
it's
you
not
play?
like, but it's not like
It's
any pass catchers are eating there. It's
man,
not like Robbie's doing great. He had one really good week, and then he's been pretty mediocre. He's been Robbie Anderson. McCaffrey has been reasonably productive, not what you expected when you drafted him
not
for what you drafted him for or when you drafted him, but he's been reasonably productive. Like, you didn't draft him for 16, 17 points, but you're never really mad at 16, 17 points either, so that's been weird. But the thing
it has.
is, he is running a good number of routes, and Baker's not even giving him the dump off. So what are you doing, Baker? You can't throw it downfield. You can't throw it intermediate. You refuse to throw it to your running back. I understand why the people of Cleveland hated his guts. Like, nobody seemed mad when he left. And they brought in a sexual deviant. And they're just like, you know what? Compared to Baker, we can live with the moral
And you know who
issues that
looks solid?
arise from Deshaun.
Jacoby Brissett.
Kobe Brissett
Brissett,
looks
he's playing
he looks
okay.
like a
He's
competent. He looks like a
he looks like
very
a
good
competent
backup
backup,
quarterback.
one
He
hundred
looks like a
percent.
he looks like a very good backup quarterback. I had this conversation with a friend this morning who happens to be a Cowboys fan. This isn't shade, I promise. And I was like, the last 2 weeks, it seems funny. Cooper Rush just bought himself a career for the next decade. He's going to be in the league. He is
He's
going
going
to
to
be in
be
the
Chase
league
Daniel
because
in this league.
because because people will say he's limited, but then somebody in the room is going to say he did win 3 straight games under less than ideal circumstances with a
Hmm.
buffoon like McCarthy running stuff. We could do
Hmm.
worse as a backup quarterback. You just need to show enough. He's going to get 10 years of checks off of this last few weeks.
Yes,
Good for him. Get that
he
money.
is. He
Good for
is
him.
100%. I'll
Get the
I'll trade
Chase
Daniel
Daniels
Jones for
checks.
him right
Man,
now.
when I saw Chase Daniels the other day when he was about to come in, it was just like, yo, he's still in the league getting
That's Chase
checks.
Daniel.
He's
He
still
was
in
at
the league
Missouri.
getting
It felt like
checks.
he was at Missouri 20 years ago.
Yo, you can't tell the youngins how cold he was at Missouri. Like, all jokes aside, nobody thought he was like a pro
Chase,
prospect like that, but
he was a
he was
bad
cold
man at
at Missouri.
Missouri. They had
Chase at
Macklin on that
Missouri,
team, right?
and Chase at he did play with Macklin. Chase at
Okay.
Missouri, and I just completely spaced out on his name. Colt Brennan at Hawaii.
Cole
Y'all will
Brennan at
never understand
Hawaii.
how cold they were in college. It's a
Cole Brennan
true.
was
You
throwing like
had to
56
be there,
touchdowns a year, bro.
dude.
Like
Dude, I'm
Cole
sitting
Brennan
here.
was out
I'm
here
sitting here
wiggling.
staying up to watch these 10 p.m. ESPN 7 Hawaii games because Colt
Cole
Brennan
Brennan.
is that cold.
Cole
And
Brennan was
shout out to
going
Colt
nuts out
Brennan.
there.
Shout out to
Word to
Colt
Cole Brennan.
Brennan.
Wherever
My
you at,
understanding
Cole.
is he's had some troubles. I don't remember the
He's
exact
going through
nature,
some
but there's
things.
been some
Yeah.
troubles. So shout out to Colt Brennan. Hope you're good out there. You a legend,
He
baby. You a
Cole
legend.
Brennan was
You a
smoking
legend,
shit back then, B. Cole Brennan was
bruh.
smoking shit back then.
Late night. That ESPN. It might have been Fox Sportsnet. Now that I think about it, but man, does that even exist anymore? I don't think Fox Sportsnet
Fox
exists
Sports
anymore.
Net. I know Fox Sports does. I don't
Because
know if Fox Sports Net
no,
did.
no, because this was the thing before FX1. So yeah, those are gone. But yo, Colt Brennan,
Yeah,
he was a legend. A
I
legend.
watched
He was that dude.
Reggie Bush against Fresno State on Fox Sports Net at a bar where
That
he
was
hits
on
the
Fox Sports Net.
sideline and stops on the dime and then runs back across the. Get that man his Heisman back, man. Stop playing. Um,
Like random Reggie thing. It sounds stupid. If they had the rules they do now, and Reggie could have worn number 5, he would have been an 18-time better player. I'm convinced of this. I am certain of this. You can't tell me otherwise. If they had let
Reggie
Reggie wear number 5, he is
Reggie with
on
number
his
five
way
is
to the
different.
Hall of Fame right now. It was just
Number
different.
five Reggie is different.
No, no,
Number
no.
five.
I remember. No, no. You remember when he came in the league? He petitioned the league to wear number 5. Like he wanted that shit. That shit meant something to him for whatever
Number
reason.
five Reggie different.
That number 25 never hit.
25 Reggie. 25
Man,
Reggie, and then
get your
that hit he
Clyde
took in
Edwards.
Philly.
Man, Clyde Edwards Bush can get the fuck out of here. I need that 5. All right.
Reggie Edwards Hilaire. Like, yeah, like
Like,
nah. That number
oh man,
five Reggie is different. Y'all don't
it
y'all
was
know
different. It was
Reggie.
different. I'm sorry. I got us
Um
off the tracks. I'm sorry. I'm ranting
Reggie,
quick.
nah man. I'm
Reggie
watching
at
Reggie
USC
highlights
was
after
just.
I get
It was
off.
just
I'm watching I'm
different.
watching Reggie highlights as soon as we log on. He was woo Reggie. Um
How different do we think about Reggie if he doesn't try that dumbass lateral and they win 3 straight?
and they went 3 straight.
We are legitimately having a conversation to see the best college player
Is
ever.
he the best college player ever? Yeah, I mean best college player ever to me is never gonna change. Like people like Barry
Yeah,
Sanders is the best college player ever.
no, no, no. I agree with you. Actually, I'm very, very, very partial to Randy Moss at Marshall. I don't know what it was about that year, but that shit was just. It
Oh, he
legitimately
was
looked like a man
it
amongst
wasn't
boys.
fair.
Like, it was so wild.
Chad Pennington was just dropping back and going, and
No,
Randy
and
was
that's
just
the
running
thing.
under
And that's the
everything.
thing.
Like
Like, there was absolutely no way, Chad, even with his limitations, there was absolutely no way that you should have a player as good as Chad Pennington or Randy Moss playing at that level, and they
at
were playing
Marshall.
together at
Yeah.
Marshall.
Yeah, he was
Bruh,
balling.
bruh, that was disrespectful.
It would have gotten even nasty for us if y'all didn't skip over Randy. Thank God, man. Like it would have been I would have had a worse
That was the
fandom.
first NFL draft. My mom and I had this conversation to this day. I threw something at the wall. Like Greg Ellis was a fine player. Like he was not a bad value for the 8th pick in the draft. He had a long
It's
career. He was
Randy,
very
dog.
productive. I got
Randy, dog.
what
And
homegirls
then every
say.
time
No,
Randy
no.
played, y'all like
What homegirls say in Harlem Nights? Had my mouth all ready for some
have my mouth
hash.
all
Now
ready for
you're
some
yeah.
hash, and now
Like,
you gonna eat this
like,
tuna.
the Reggie, I mean, the Randy Moss thing was like, y'all done told us for weeks we taking Randy, and then y'all got this old big biscuit head ass dude out of North Carolina. Do they even play football in North Carolina? That's how I felt.
They
You know, I'm
do.
like 11,
They
12
do.
years old. Like, they play football out there?
They do. They do.
And mind you, I was living in North Carolina. Like, nobody thought anything of that program. I promise you, nobody cared. I promise, nobody cared.
Mm.
And they took it. And then I told my mom that day, I was like, the Vikings going to go to the Super Bowl. They didn't. They didn't because an idiot kicker
They should
missed
have
the
a
kick.
couple
But
years.
they
They
should
should have.
have.
That offense was
That 98,
woohoo.
that 98 Vikings team with
Word
Carter,
to Robert Smith.
Jake Reed. Jake Reed, don't everybody forgets about Jake Reed. He
Everybody
was
forgets
so
about Jake
good.
Reed too.
And Robert Smith and
Robert Smith was that
MVP
dude.
Cunningham. Like, dude, that team was crazy.
It's still my favorite Madden team ever. Still, like that
Man,
spread
I
offense that
remember
night. I'm
what
scoring
the
35 on y'all in the first
okay,
quarter. Like,
here's the real. Here's the real. This is how you know we old. Randy Moss wore 18 in training camp. Madden uploaded him with 18. He didn't even have the
18 B,
84. He didn't even
18
have the
B.
84. He was rocking
Yeah,
18, dominating.
cooking, cooking y'all, cooking on Madden. What sticks out? So I guess we'll touch on fantasy. I can do this shit all day.
We could like look. I'm trying to make you feel
You know
better.
what?
You got a
Let's
loss
stay with
on
the
your
Vikings.
mind.
I feel fine. My life is really good. I know Daniel Jones is who he is, and I forgot for a split second
It
that he
is.
has to hold the
It
ball
is.
every time. But I got a good life. I'm all right. I just need. I understand. Justin Fields is about to come in here and be like Tecmo Bowl against us. I just see it. No, the Bears are
Okay.
bad. That's
All right.
cool.
Well,
We
I
ass.
don't know. I think you might have just said you want to stick on the Vikings, but we need to circle back to the Bears because I got some thoughts, plenty of them.
Okay, let's stick with the
I am
Vikings.
uncommonly passionate about the Bears this week, and I don't know why, but
Okay, where is your worry with Justin Jefferson? Not obviously you're not trading him away. You're not sitting him, but
well, here's the thing
two
with
straight
trading him
weeks.
away. Here's the thing with trading him away. I would not shop Justin Jefferson.
Right.
If somebody drops a real offer, I'll consider it right now. Whereas 2 weeks ago, I'm telling
What's a
you,
real?
fuck out of here the moment you mention his name.
What's a real offer for Justin
A
Jefferson
real
right now?
a real offer, and this is
You
not
have
something
him in the
that I
league,
would
right?
take. I have him in two two leagues, yes. So
Okay,
I'm not
great.
looking to
Take
trade
those
him.
two leagues. What
I'm
would
in
you take
very
for
good
Justin
shape.
Jefferson?
And so in those two leagues, my teams are pretty stacked. I don't really want to
Okay.
trade him. But what I would consider if I needed this, if you feel really strongly about one of those really high end but slightly disappointing running backs at the moment, and you need a running back and you're good at wide receiver beyond Jefferson, I'd at least consider it. Like, I'm not saying I would do this, I'm not advocating you do this, but say somebody calls you, and I won't use Dalvin because he's hurt right now. We don't know his
Right.
status, but let's
You.
say Kamara for the sake of argument. I
Wow.
would decline a Kamara deal.
Yeah.
But if somebody said, "Yeah, I'm declining Kamara," like I don't like
Yes.
the look of that. Actually,
Th- that's who
I
will
don't really
circle back
like.
second. That's who
I
was
don't
on my
really
list
like the
second.
look of that. I don't really like the look of that right now. Okay, let's say somebody calls and says Austin Eckler for Jefferson. 2 weeks ago, I'm not even listening.
You're not
Right now,
entertaining it.
I'm at least thinking, do I need a running back? I probably still don't do it, but if I have a need at running back, I might consider it, whereas 2 weeks ago I wouldn't. Ultimately, I think Jefferson is going to be absolutely fine,
Right.
but it hasn't looked good the last couple of weeks. My biggest concern is he went up against a couple of. The whole thing with Jefferson has always been he's really good, but he's not necessarily the most physically dominant.
Right.
He's gone up against a couple of cornerbacks that are just apex
Who are
predator level
physically dominant?
athletes,
Yeah.
and they have, for lack of a better word, they've
They
locked
got
him
dog in
up.
them. They got dog in
Like
them.
we can talk about Kirk Cousins and what he did or didn't do. Jeff Okuda was locking shit up on Sunday. This wasn't a
He
matter
was.
of Kirk not getting him the ball or bad throws. This was a matter of a
He couldn't get
quarterback,
open.
an extremely talented quarterback, deciding this ain't happening on my watch. I'm going where you go, and they can throw somewhere else. And very quickly, Kirk just was like,
I got
good
feeling
things
over
happen
here.
when I throw
I'm
away
throwing
from
him the
this dude.
ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm
Darius
not
Slay the week
worried about
before is the same
Jefferson,
thing. A lot
but
of talk about Darius
I
Slay
would
was is he
I
that
would at
good?
least
Darius
listen.
Slay locked him up. Darius Slay
There
locked him up
isn't
in Philly.
there isn't a wide receiver who I would like, assuming nobody's offering you Cooper Cup right now. There's no one for one wide receiver I'm taking over Jefferson, so I'm not out on him at all. If somebody calls me and just says Jamar Chase for Jefferson, nah, I'll keep Jefferson. I'll ride this out. I want to see
Diggs
where
for
this
Jefferson. I'm
goes.
taking Diggs.
Actually, that's a good one. Yes,
I'm taking Diggs.
yeah, because Josh just looks different. Well, what
Hmm.
I want to know is how's Diggs feeling. I want to see some practice reports because by the end of the game, he and Gabe Davis look like they could barely walk. So I at least want to see where they're at midweek before I say, you know. But yes, generally
They'll
speaking, I'm taking
hydrate.
Diggs.
They'll rest. I think they'll be fine. I just think it was the heat. The heat cramps. Everything started to break them down. They'll hydrate for a couple days. That organization up in
Diggs
Buffalo is
looks
excellent. I think they'll be fine.
so the thing with Diggs is I think this week was interesting because we saw his floor. And it's like if his floor is 14, 15 points,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
monstrous. Because
Yeah.
this week we saw his floor. I think for a large part we saw Cup's floor. Like Cup is
He
not
was
going
still
to have
top
a
floor.
worse game this season, and he was still fine. We've seen Jefferson's floor now for 2 weeks, and it is
And it's
considerably lower.
low.
It is
It's low.
considerably lower. So that is something to absolutely consider going forward. Ultimately, I am not panicked on Jefferson. There are several
No,
players that I am panicked on that we may or may not get to, but Jefferson isn't one of them. In the grand scheme of things, I feel absolutely fine about
I agree. We touched on Kamara. Well, one more thing on Jefferson. Here's what's weird to me. If Cooper Cup is getting locked up, if Cooper Cup is having a thing where I'm having this, they scheme him open.
it.
Not scheming Jefferson open is weird to me when someone is that talented. That's the thing that kind of sticks out a little bit is do they know
But
how to
there's
scheme
a
this kid open?
but there's look. We know that the head coach of Minnesota was in LA, was running that
Hmm.
offense with McVay. So we have no reason to think that he isn't smart in getting his guy open. What there
Yeah,
is to consider, however, is he's a first time head coach. There's a lot going on. There are going to
there's
be
a lot
growing
happening.
pains. He's going to learn from the fact that, okay, my guy's not getting open. I need to make sure he gets open. It worked out for Minnesota this week in that they won that game at the end. It's not going to work out in their favor very often if they're not getting Jefferson the ball. I think they understand that. I think they will
Agreed.
adjust accordingly. But as somebody who has Jefferson in a couple leagues and Thielen, I probably have too much Thielen stock. Y'all want to make sure my man Thielen is eating every week. I am completely good with it. It is
Right,
appreciated.
right.
It was good to see him look like Adam Thielen again for a week because
He
the
did.
first couple weeks he looked decent week two, but it was all really late that he produced. So seeing a game where they got him involved early and throughout, that
He
was
had a good game.
certainly I was certainly optimistic. I don't necessarily expect that week to week. If you have Adam Thielen at this point, you want 6, 7 targets. If you're getting 6, 7 targets, you don't feel cheated by the process. He is not going to win you your league. He's not that guy anymore. But if he can be a solid wide receiver three, or more ideally a flex option, you're in pretty good shape with your roster.
Absolutely. Sounds like Dalvin's going to play. Dalvin has this weird shoulder contraption thing where they'll just strap it to him and he'll go out
I
and run
wish
for 220 and two
how about y'all
touchdowns
just
and
how
figure
about
it
y'all
out.
just give him a week? Just give him a week. I would
Just give him a
like
week.
for them to
You
just
have
give
Madison,
him a week.
run
We
Madison.
know that Madison can be productive.
We know that
And if you
Madison
have
can cook.
Dalvin and you did not take Madison, that's on you. I have
Yeah,
Dalvin in
he
two
deserves
leagues. I have Madison in both of those leagues. Madison looks very good every time he's
that.
given the opportunity to get the ball on a consistent basis. Every time he looks very good.
Switching over to Kamara, since we touched on him,
I don't like
uh,
it.
I don't
I
like
don't like
anything
it.
I've seen out of Kamara because for two
Here's
straight
the thing:
years now,
he's not
now,
throwing
now
passes. It's the pass
they're
catching,
not
like the
throwing him the
running,
ball.
whatever.
They're not route
Why
running him.
why aren't they? And why aren't they? That's
I
what I
don't know
don't
why they're
get.
not
Why
route
aren't
running
they?
him. Not just okay dump downs. I'm talking about route running
Legitimate.
Kamara. Now there
They
was
miss Sean
one
Payton.
where
They miss Sean Payton.
there was one
They
where
miss
where,
Sean
where
Payton.
Jameis was under pressure. Jameis was under pressure. He had to get rid of it early. Kamara had a wheel route wide open. He would have scored. It looks better, but you run 12 to you run him in routes 15 to 18 times a game. Just put him out in the routes, not throw the ball to him 18 times, but you have him run those routes because he'll be open. He'll
And
catch the
you
ball.
need
He's
to
good. And
you
then
make
you
the
run the screen
defense
game.
think about it. You make the defense think about it. And
Yeah.
watch how quickly those boxes soften up when you want to run him. Whatever's going on in New Orleans, what I will say is this: we have underestimated how much Sean Payton was keeping that whole thing together because
Yeah.
they look completely frazzled without him. They look completely
I agree.
frazzled offensively. Um, Even last year, dealing with all the injuries, they always look very competent offensively. Right now, they have weapons. And
They look
Jameis
terrible.
is Jameis. He's going to have his good games. He's going to have his bad games. But
And his back is broken.
the offense looks disjointed, and there's only one way to fix it. Got to go to Taysom, baby. 1924 offense. We're gonna run the single wing, baby. Forget Olave. Forget forget Michael Thomas. Let's go get us some more tight ends.
Taysom
Let's
and Alvin. Just go Taysom Alvin. Run
we
that
going
Tommy
we,
Frazier
hey,
1995 Nebraska Cornhusker
that
offense.
that end of what was the play at the end of any given Sunday? What was the play called? Comanche. We gonna go
Command.
Comanche offense. All right. Comanche left, Comanche right. That's what we doing. That's what we doing.
Uh,
All jokes
It looks so
aside, I do think
beautiful.
that offense would be surprisingly effective if they just ran the shit out of Taysom and Kamara playing the option. I
They'd
think it
figure
would
it
be.
out.
I think it
They'd
would
figure
be.
it would be
Yeah, I'm saying.
gross,
I'm talking.
but they'd
Look, those
figure it.
games would
But
be
the
ugly, but
you
it
can never
doesn't
start
look pretty right
Olave.
now. Ooh,
You can
ooh, ooh.
never start Michael Thomas.
Olave.
Olave looks good.
I assume that he's not available in leagues. There's
No, he can't be.
unless if you were in a super shallow league, like a 10-person normal construction. Like I am in
Not
one
even.
league
I don't
where
think.
I picked up Garrett Wilson like on Saturday. So if you're in a
Hmm.
really shallow league, it's possible. But assuming he's not available, but he looks really really
Olave's
good. Um,
always open. He's just always open.
these these rookie wide receivers, there are quite a few of them that look like you can trust them in your lineup from here going forward. I feel good about playing Drake London on a week to week
Hmm.
basis. I feel less confident, but I feel decent about playing Garrett Wilson on a week
Well,
to week
Garrett.
basis. Week to week basis. Olave, obviously. Um, so we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But there are some very viable pass catches from this draft class because you never know what the rookie receivers. Some take a full year to acclimate. Some hit the ground running. They seem to have hit the ground running. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. But they all look very good, very promising. Um, if you happen to be in a keeper or dynasty league and you have one of those three, I'm sure you feel very good about it, not only now but
Right.
going forward. So very interesting players.
Very very interesting. Um, we talked about Cincinnati last week. Did Cincinnati look good enough against the Jets for you to stop to worry about them? They get Miami on Thursday night. Are you walking
Yes
in?
and no.
Is
Yet,
that the game where if they look good against Miami, you feel fine?
yeah, like I'm. They didn't look good enough to where I'm just like I got no worries anymore.
Hmm.
The offensive line play is still not. I would feel
It's
so much
tough.
better about them if oh, have you seen those white uniforms they're rocking on Thursday? That helmet and
Mm,
jersey combination is tough. Anyway,
leave.
that is tough. Um, I feel absolutely fine about Chase and Higgins. I have maintained that.
Hmm.
I really wasn't worried about them regardless. I feel better about Burrow, but I don't feel great about that offensive line. I have been very, very high on Joe Mixon.
Hmm.
This is the first time I feel a twinge of worry. We'll see how he is
Okay.
health wise if he's feeling good for this week, especially on the
They
short
gave
week.
him a full practice today, full practice means that
Then I feel pretty
he's
good.
resting.
Then I feel fine. Um, I thought Joe Mixon was going to be a top five running back, and I want to say, okay, I don't see that anymore. But it's also like if you look at the top of the list running backs right now, I don't really feel good about any of them. Like
No.
the running back thing, it's weird this year. Nobody has really separated themselves in the way that I expected. James Robinson looks amazing, but even him, I expect to come back down to earth and for there to be some level of regression. So I'm not sure who at running back you feel great about right now. I mean, you feel good about several players, but great? I don't know. Nick Chubb,
You feel
maybe?
great. You
Who
feel
do you
great
feel
about
great about?
Swift, but he's hurt.
Now he's hurt. But now he's hurt. So who do you feel
Nick
great
Chubb, I
about?
guess. Nick Chubb, I guess. Nick Chubb,
But even him,
he doesn't catch
you're
any damn
already
passes,
conceding
but
that
you
he's
don't
not
need
going to
to.
be the pass catcher. Exactly,
You don't
but
need
like
to.
that's
You
what
don't
I'm
need to,
saying.
I
So it's
guess.
like,
Goodness, man.
I, so the running back thing is really interesting. Overall, Cincy, I'm not panicked on Cincy. I don't feel great about Cincy. I am taking a wait and see approach with everybody except those top two wide receivers. I feel absolutely fine about Higgins and about Chase. Um, Burrow, if you have him, you're going to be playing him anyway. So same for
Right,
Mixon. I'm not
right.
looking to sell any of them. If somebody comes with an offer, none of them are off the table. That includes Chase,
No,
though. Like legitimately, none of them are off the table.
right, right. 100%. Um, before we get off running back, without looking, guess who running back four on the year is right now?
I was gonna just because you put it out there, it's not like I was gonna guess something random like Devin Singletary. I know he is not ranked that high, but the way you put it out there, I'm like, this is gonna be some sort of a big, big, big surprise. I don't know. You tell me.
Cordero
Who's
Patterson
running
is
back
running
four?
back 4 on the year right now. Cordero
Doesn't
Patterson is the
he's
running back 4, bro.
hey. We didn't know what to do with him in the preseason, but we
This shit
both
makes
kind
no
of
sense.
settled on. We think he's going to be
Game
very
makes no
good for
sense,
the
bro.
first 8 to 10 weeks. No, we did acknowledge that the first 8 to 10 weeks he might be really, really productive. They have ran the ball more to him than I was expecting. He has really been the lead back. He looks good. He looks
RB4
good.
is insane, bro.
He
It's
was top
nuts.
10 last year. He was top 10 last year. He was
I
top
hear
seven
you.
for most of the year. Remember,
I hear
remember,
you,
I
man.
grabbed him everywhere I could after week one
You did.
last week. So this isn't
You did.
off the wall shocking.
You did.
I mean, it's not what you expected, but it's not off the wall. I am more
No,
surprised by James Robinson being 3 than I am by Cordero Patterson being 4.
I thought Robinson was 2.
Like I am
I
far
thought it
more
was that. I
surprised.
thought it was that crazy.
It's very possible he is. It's
Yeah.
very possible that he is. When I glanced at it at some point over the weekend, he was RB3, but I have not taken another look at it. So that is far more shocking coming off an Achilles
Insane.
injury. That is far more shocking. So shout out to James Robinson. Good for you, sir.
Yeah, he did well. My biggest standout for the year, and it's not that we didn't expect it because we thought Philly was going to be very good. How good Jalen Hurts looks, how he's in control of everything, how he is managing this offense. He's not making any throws that look crazy. He is just in control, and they look terrifying on offense when he's locked in
So
like this because those wide
the
receivers are
big thing
open.
with the big thing with the big thing with Jalen Hurts was going coming into the year was if he improves as a passer versus last year, Philadelphia goes from division contender to Super Bowl contender. Like the gap was
Right.
that big. If like the talent level was that good, if he was locked in, he looks ready. Um, like top of my head, you never want to do it this early. It doesn't matter this early, but after a month, top three MVP guy. Like
I got him top
you
two.
got Lamar, you got Josh. Would
I have Hurts over
you put him
Josh.
over Lamar?
I got Hurts. I got him over Josh. I have Lamar. Lamar is first in every passing stat
That's
that
the thing.
matters, and he's fourth in rushing yards in the league.
Which is why I'm
He's
like, I still would put Josh over Hurts. I would still put Josh over Hurts, but if you want to flip that, I'm not
as
gonna
of right
argue
now,
with you
as
over it.
of
That's
this
fine.
moment. I don't think it ends up that way
Yeah, as of this
because I
moment,
think
like
Josh is now. I
no,
think
but
Josh is fish now.
I do think Jalen Hurts as a top 3 to 4 fantasy quarterback for the season, meaning with Josh, with Lamar, with Mahomes, maybe Herbert. I think that is well within play. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect that. As of right now, if you were starting a league right this second and drafting quarterbacks, I don't think that he should be any worse than fourth.
He's no
I'd be
worse. No
inclined to
worse.
say he is third,
I have
but
him
he's
three.
no worse than fourth. Absolutely no
Yeah,
worse. I
yeah.
have
I
him
have
three
him
because
three.
of the running upside.
I have him three. Absolutely. Um, the Lamar thing. Obviously, he's not going to. You know what? I'm not going to say obviously anything. Lamar, Paul in our league, my man Paul said Lamar's embarking on the biggest "fuck you, pay me" season in history, and I
And
don't.
that quote that
I've
he
never.
sent me separate from you. He sent me that exact quote separate from you. Exact quote. Those exact
he's
words. Because I'm the
he's
dumbass that keeps sending. I keep sending offers every week. Like, hey, what do you think
he's
about
getting
this? My man
he's
don't
getting
even
it every week.
respond. All he says, hey, I
Understand?
saw it.
I saw it.
My man doesn't even decline. He said, I saw it, and then moved on
Paul
with
is the
his day.
king of
Like,
yo man.
damn,
Paul,
bro. I
I
thought this
sent
was
you
a
an
good.
offer.
I thought this was a
I
good
did.
offer.
Yo Paul,
I
I sent
saw
you
it.
an offer.
I,
Okay,
I saw it.
let me take a look. That's not gonna be enough.
You know what Paul is?
What is gonna
Hey,
be
this
enough?
is a super. No, this is going to be a super, super, super niche reference that maybe nobody will get but us. But Dame Dash and Jay Z in the first State Property movie when Dame
Jay
is
Z's
telling
sitting in the
him like,
car.
"Hey," when he shot at me, and Jay just like, "You think I need a haircut?
Mm. Yeah, like
You should
go
handle
ahead,
that. Handle that.
go ahead, handle that, man. All right,
Handle that." He's
all
like,
right.
"So what we gonna do? Handle it."
Paul
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
like
handle it.
Paul.
It's like,
Paul,
good.
yo,
That's
Paul is like
Paul. That's
Paulie.
Paul. Paul.
Paul is like Paul from Goodfellas. He doesn't say much. He just got people saying like he just sits there eating the sausage and peppers, and he just hears something in the ear. Nah, yeah, I got it. Nods his head, and just keeps moving, and nothing ever happens, bro.
I saw it.
Oh
I saw
man,
it.
the Lamar
Like,
thing
please. I
is
saw it. It's
the
crazy.
Lamar thing is crazy. I don't know if there's anything I'm panicking on except
Can they just pay him? Like, imagine watching this every week and you haven't at least called him, like, all right, I know you said you didn't want to negotiate during the season, but let's just get this done. The price is only going. Like, at this point, what's Lamar going to want? If Lamar just walks in, he's like, all right, I want 50 million a year, and
I
that's
want
just what it's
the
going to be. Like, what does Baltimore even
to
do?
pay him.
What do y'all even
I
do?
don't. I don't want them to pay him because I want the Giants to say, Lamar, we got 550,000. I mean, 50 million over 10 for you. Just here's 55 million a year, bro. I don't care.
And you
I'll
know that's
help
never
pay.
going to
I
happen.
got
And you know that's never going
listen.
to happen. You know that's
You know,
never going to happen.
I'm not
You
gonna say
know
why.
that's never going to
We're
happen.
not gonna say
You know
why.
what? You know
We're
what?
not gonna say why.
No,
Y'all know
we can't
why.
say why. I
We
know
know
why.
why.
We know damn well the
We
Giants,
ain't gonna have no
the
black
Moors,
quarterback.
the Moors are such good. That you remember the way y'all reacted at one game of Geno Smith? One,
They wanted to
uno,
shoot Gino. They wanted to
single.
shoot Gino.
Man,
They
y'all
did.
wanted to like. Y'all are not going to have a black quarterback. Like that's. I'm not saying a black guy will never start for the Giants. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is they will
They're not
never
giving him
embark on
500.
having a black. The only way it
Face of the
happens
franchise.
is if it happens by accident. Like Dallas has Dak, and I'm not saying I know Dallas had Quincy Carter, but let's be
Mm.
real about this. Dallas has
Didn't they have
Dak
another
by
dude?
accident.
Mm.
That was not part of the program. That was not
It
part of the
wasn't.
plan. It was by
It wasn't.
accident. That's the only way it happens for New York. If it is completely by accident.
Please,
Otherwise, it's not
man,
happening.
just go give Lamar his money, man. Like,
No, you know what you could have done? Just taking Justin Fields.
oh,
Just
I've only
taking
said it forever.
Justin Fields.
I've said it forever.
Just
I
taking
said
him.
it every single
Or
day.
taking Parsons. Or taking Parsons. Wait, what did y'all do with whatever you got from Chicago to trade down? What did y'all get? Did y'all get a first? Y'all got an extra first, right?
Yeah, we. What does that draft look like?
Like that's the extra first from this past year, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a top 10 pick. The
It
Cordarius
is.
Tony pick just never made sense. The Tony pick just never made sense. But you got a top 10 pick to move down, so I'm not going to completely shit on you.
Whatever, bro.
But
Whatever,
passing on
dog.
Fields and Parsons to take a dude who you now want to move on from a year later, that is insane. That's insane. You know what? I hope they extend Daniel Jones. Like they see something in him. Dable's going to bring the best out of him. Hey, he was almost 3
Dable,
0. Go ahead and
Dable
extend that
looks at Dan.
contract, baby.
Dable looks at Daniel
Go ahead and
Jones
extend that contract, baby.
like he hit on his wife. Dable is just waiting. Like Dable is texting the GM every night. Like Joe, like is it time, dog? Like can I, like give him one
Can I
more
play
week? All right.
Tyrod?
Like can
Can
I
I
play
play
Tyrod now?
Tyrod?
Like how about now? He just sent in Tyrod
Because the
pictures with a
thing
question
is,
mark.
funny thing is, the way the NFC looks, there are going to be two not so great teams that make that make those wild
Just play
card spots.
Tyrod and
Two.
make it. Just play Tyrod, bro. If
You
we
have a
play
shot.
Tyrod, we
You
win
play
last night.
Tyrod. I don't know.
We
Maybe.
win.
Maybe.
The margins.
Maybe.
It was the margins
The
last night.
pass rush was something special last night, and y'all didn't really have anybody on the outside making plays either. But then again, that could be
No,
the fact that Daniel Jones sucks. That could
he
very well be that Daniel Jones
stinks.
sucks.
He stinks. He's horrible. He is terrible. That dude sucks. Like he is bad. And then he's like, I watch him after the game high fiving people and shaking hands. What do you say? What do you even? What are you saying? What are they saying to you? Hey Dan, what's up, Dan? And that's it. Like, what do they got to say to you, bro? Keep your head up, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, what do they do? What do they walk by a locker and say? You don't hear any of these dudes say anything about Daniel Jones. You ask about, I've seen 32 Saquon off-season interviews. He mentions Daniel Jones literally zero times. None. Have you ever? None. They don't even talk about dude. It's not like he's not even here. Like, but he's here and he's back there stand. Like, what do you do? Like, why are you this
Okay. I got
bad,
a question.
dog?
I got a legit question. I got a question. Daniel Jones or Baker Mayfield, real life and fantasy.
Ugh, oh my god, what? My stomach just started to hurt. Um, real life and
Baker's bad too. Both.
Baker stinks. Baker stinks.
Baker's terrible. And they finally
Baker's
got his ass out them fucking commercials. I finally
Baker
don't gotta listen to them progressive commercials with him at the Brown
Baker
Stadium. Because them
Baker
shits,
stinks.
those things got real trash real quickly.
Baker's horrible.
And like, come on. Baker is horrible, but so is
Baker's
Jones.
horrible.
So is Jones.
I know this, but like people didn't think Baker was Baker. Oh, Carolina,
At
watch out.
least, here's the thing. Here's the thing. At least with Daniel, he seems like a likable guy. He don't seem like the kind of guy that you mad to be around. He just isn't good. But he seems like a pleasant enough individual. Baker
Sure,
seems like an asshole and he sucks.
Daniel Jones is out the
An
league next year.
asshole who sucks. No, absolutely not. Daniel Jones is going to collect checks for a very long time. He is going to get another shot to start. Bet money. He is going to get another shot to start. Man, I'm watching Mitch Trubisky stink up the fucking joint. He is going to get another opportunity to start. The fuck we talking about? Like, what are we talking about?
Mitch,
Mitch
what's up, Mitch?
Trubisky out here. Like, how bad is Kenny Pickett that they like, hey, so you gonna start the rookie? Nope.
Oh
Mike
God,
Tomlin
no.
was so resolute. Like Kenny Kenny Pickett gotta be horrible because Trubisky is not good.
Oh, shit. He's terrible. At least
I
he's not the
take
Mets, man.
look Brissett. I take Brissett over those three right now in a
100%.
heartbeat. In a
100%.
heartbeat. And
100%.
honestly, somebody needs to be on the phone with Philly trying to get Garner Minshew because I think
Where's
he is better than all three of
Minshew?
those dudes too. He's sitting behind Hurts in Philly.
Do
He's sitting
Minshew for
behind
Jones right
Hurts.
now. Just call like, yo, I got Jones for Minshew right now for you. Just add, just offer, just ask. Make
Why
him
would,
say no.
why would Philly do that?
Make him say no, dog. You don't know how people value
Why
anything.
would they?
Maybe Minshew smells bad, and they're like, we need this to be better. Daniel Jones looks like he showers at least. That's dope. Minshew was living in the wild and shit for the whole offseason, then pulled up like, yo, I'm ready to ball out. Like, nah, maybe they don't like him. Know what I'm saying? Like, just, we'll take him. I don't care. He's Jones stuff, and I just want, oh, you know what? They got 130 left. Maybe some Daniel
You know
Jones
what's
magic. And I texted
you
you,
know what's worse?
Daniel Jones going 90 yards, B.
And the funny thing is, it was as he was throwing the pick, and I was just like, I guess not.
Like Daniel Jones going 90 yards, dog. What part of me? What part of you know what I'm saying? Like, like what are we doing? People like, what are we saying, yo? Like, why are people acting like I'm not understanding? I've been screaming it since
But
day one. Oh, this
here's
dude
the
ass.
worst part. Here's the worst part. We are in a two quarterback league, not a super flex, but an actual two quarterback league.
I didn't think he'd
You
be this
got to
bad.
keep playing him.
I didn't know. I
Neither
don't.
did
I got
I,
Cooper
because he
Rush.
was neither.
Oh, and Crib, I'm playing Cooper Rush this week.
I bet you wish you had been playing him. Like Cooper been solid. Cooper been decent. Um, but Cooper Rush is gone in a week or two, and then you are playing Daniel Jones. You're just gonna have to
Who
live.
cares? This team sucks anyway. Who
You
gives a shit?
cannot live with your failure. And where has
That
that
team
led you?
sucks. That team
Right
sucks.
back to me. Daniel Jones to you in 2 weeks.
That nigga sucks. He's so fucking terrible, dog. I just kept staring at my screen, watching him walk around, greeting people. Like, what do they say to do? Just like
Right.
zoom in on the huddle, like, hey, Dan,
I was
appreciate
I
you.
was rooting
Like,
for you to make the comeback last night. and Daniel Jones kept taking
I
them
told you it was
sacks.
over.
Like,
Come
hey,
on,
look,
dog.
the
I
pass
knew it was
rush,
already.
the pass rush was real, but there were more than a few occasions where it's just like, just get rid of the ball,
Throw the
bruh.
ball
Just
away.
get rid of it.
Just get rid of
Get
the
rid of
ball.
it. What are you
You're
doing?
waiting for Richie. You're waiting for
Oh,
Richie
oh,
James to get open.
hold on, hold
So
on, hold on, hold on. Look, I said last week that Michael Parsons was going to eat y'all alive, and he played great. Don't look at the stats. He was causing havoc
he was
throughout that
incredible.
game.
He was incredible last night.
But man, Demarcus Lawrence, the way he was working Evan Neal was that was some
Evan
welcome to
Neal.
the NFL type stuff. Like he
Evan
was.
Neal was out there just looking around at somebody for help. Like nobody would help him. Like
So
he was just like,
I have a legitimate question because I haven't watched the Giants but so closely, and we know
mhm,
how talented Evan Neal is. So I'm not knocking him at
yes,
all.
he's
We've
very
seen the
good.
way that Andrew Thomas has improved. Andrew Thomas
Yes.
has improved immensely over his now in his third season. So am I wrong to? Am I being a homer if I felt that Tyler Smith was the more impressive rookie last night? Like, because I thought the rookie looked good. Obviously, Evan Neal is more talented,
Right.
but hey, look, Dallas is incompetent, and I despise their front office.
They can draft an
But
old
they
line.
seem to have a way with offensive linemen. They I got to give them credit for that. They seem to have a way about themselves about drafting old linemen because that young boy looked real athletic, and very, very angry. I like my offensive lineman angry. Don't be nice. I don't
Don't be
want you being
nice.
friendly. I don't want you
Be
dapping
Quentin
people up
Nelson.
after the game.
Every time I see Quentin Nelson, I get joy. That's who you want your offensive lineman to be. I want pain
Be
for you.
me. I want my offensive linemen to hate everybody who wears another jersey. I don't care if my
Correct.
wide receivers like the other team. I don't care if my quarterback likes the other team. When it comes to the guys in the trenches, I actually do want you to. I need that. I need
Period.
that dislike.
Period.
I need that hate.
Period.
Uh, Tyler
Anything
Smith
else?
looked very angry. I like it.
Anything else stick out to you
Um,
from week 3?
I don't know how I feel about Chargers players going forward. Um, I
Okay.
don't necessarily dislike any of them now, but the way I look at all of them has dropped. Missing a franchise level left tackle and not truly
Yes,
having a viable person to come back in,
it
that will
matters.
impact the entire offense. So Keenan Allen is impacted. Mike Williams is impacted. Justin Herbert is impacted. Austin Eckler might be the most impacted of them all
I agree.
because he ran to the left side quite a bit behind Slater. Like
Right.
he's still going to have plenty of value as a pass catcher, but when you took Austin Eckler where you took him, it wasn't with the intent of him basically having Kareem Hunt usage. The whole thought was he's going to get a lot of touches, both as a runner and a pass catcher. I do wonder if they lean more heavily into the pass catching without Slater. It's something that
Right.
bears watching. At least for me, it bears watching.
That usage is goofy what they're doing with Eckler. I mean, I there's something to say about trying to keep someone healthy for a run, but
You
you're
got to
one
win
and two
games.
now. You got to win
You got to
games
win
before you
games.
worry about
You
that.
have to win
You
games.
have you look at that when you're comfortable and you're in the driver's seat and you're looking at things like when you come into it and you expect what you expect. This is not you haven't proven anything in LA that you can go ahead and put someone on a pitch count. You need your best player to get you wins and figure it out. Austin Eckler, outside of
The
Justin Herbert being a generational quarterback, Austin Eckler is your best chance for getting the ball up and down the field. He's wonderful, and they're not using him
the
accordingly.
the other thing that stood out to me, I watched a surprising amount of that Jags versus Chargers game this week.
Jacksonville's very good.
Jaguars, they're good.
Jacksonville's very good. Jacksonville's very
In
good.
terms of from a
Trevor,
fantasy standpoint, I feel fine with Trevor, even if you play in a traditional one quarterback league. If you are starting Trevor Lawrence, I got no problem with it. I see
I
him as
think
a
you're
top
okay.
10 to 12 player on a week to week basis.
I think you're
Christian
okay.
Kirk looks like, forget high end wide receiver two. From a fantasy standpoint, he might be a low end wide receiver one. He is getting that sort of usage. He is producing.
Yes.
Zay Jones producing. If you have him at
I
a
like Zay
flex, you
Jones.
could do worse. You could do worse with him as a flex. James Robinson, we talked about, he's awesome. You are going to keep playing him, even if there's a slight regression. I don't see there being a circumstance where he's not going to be playable week to week for the entire season.
Absolutely,
And
bro.
yes.
Absolutely.
Zay is absolutely worth the pickup. Yes. And even though the usage isn't what I expected in preseason, the way that I'm seeing things, Travis Etienne is going to be a useful flex player. He is not there
Yes,
yet, but he is going to get there
he's
because
gonna get
everything
there.
seems to be trending in the direction of him eventually getting 15 touches a game. And this offense, that is actually going to be useful because it's a pretty good offense. James Robinson will be the lead dog, but from what I could see, the way that they are rotating things is they are, for all intents and purposes, out of every 3 drives, Etienne is getting a full drive and pieces within the drives for Robinson. It's not there yet, but if you drafted him, chances are you overdrafted him. That's a sunk cost. There's nothing you can do about it now. But assuming you are getting paltry offers, hang on to him. Do not drop him by midseason. He
Right.
is going to be a viable player. You
I
get
agree.
nothing from dropping him. There's not going to be anybody better on waivers. Unless if Jamal Williams is there, but even then, that's a 2 to 3 week stopgap. That's not something consistent that you can bank on. So hang on to ATM, but the Jaguars, that team is good. Oh, and one last thing. I tried to tell everybody, trusting Washington, trusting Carson Wentz, what was going to happen. Put your trust in that dude. You put your trust and your hope in that dude. And y'all out here looking bad at home. 24-0 and a half, booing your own team on a Sunday afternoon. Now look at you. You feel good?
Do you
After
think
1-0, all I was hearing
you
was,
feel
hey,
good?
Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz. Because after the first week, that looked horrible. Then he got hurt. And then
Oh,
people
you
in
feel
DC talking
good?
about Carson Wentz, the best quarterback in the division. Y'all feel good? Y'all feel better? Y'all feel good about yourself? This is what you get. This is what you get. This
Is
is what you
Philly
get. Carson Wentz.
is he
Carson
that
Wentz.
bad, or is
Fuck out of
Philly
my
that good?
face.
Or is Philly that good?
Philly is very good. Carson Wentz is also very bad. He play People get seduced by stats. Like
They do.
as a
He
fantasy
stinks.
player, Carson Wentz is still going to be viable. Like he's going to put up numbers because they're going to be down a lot because he dug them into holes a lot because they spend the first half of the game not
Oh
moving the
well,
ball.
yeah.
So he's going to put up fantasy numbers, but the dude sucks. He's
He
not
stinks.
good.
He's very
He's
bad.
going to lose to Cooper Rush this week. Like he's not good. And here's the thing: I
Ooh.
don't think Cooper Rush is good. He's not good. He's not. The Cowboys as a whole, they are not good.
Nope,
This is just
they're
a
not.
bad division outside of Philly. It's just a bad division outside of Philly. That's all this is.
Yeah.
Philly's
Um.
legit. Nobody else is. Simple.
Yeah.
But
Saquon's gonna be
but we took
fine.
care of New York though. But we took care of New York though.
We took
Hey,
care of
two
New
and one,
York.
baby.
2-1. Don't get the fuck out of here with this
2-1,
bullshit.
baby. Hey,
That
two
bullshit.
wins with the backup QB. I'm feeling good. Shout out to Mike McCarthy. I still think you're a buffoon, but you have had the team prepared to play with a backup quarterback. So shout out to you, homie. Shout out to you.
We got a backup
Hey,
quarterback
that
too.
fourth
We
and
just
four
won,
call
so I guess
was
that's good.
ballsy. No, no,
It
no,
was.
no, no. That fourth and four call was ballsy. Like
It was a
even
great
if
throw.
I was screaming, "Go for it!" I wanted them to go for it.
It's a great
But the
throw. It's
fact
a
that
big
he
time
actually
CD
grabbed his
catch.
nuts and went for it,
It's a
shout
big
out to
time CD catch.
McCarthy.
Held on to the ball. Giants
Mhm.
played it well. It's just a great
Giants
throw,
played it
great catch.
perfectly. Giants played it perfectly.
They did.
Um,
It took a perfect throw, and it took a guy holding on
it
after getting
it's
smashed,
a
and it
ballsy
worked.
call. So shout out to McCarthy. I still don't like you. I still can't stand Jerry. I still can't stand Steven. Ain't shit changed over here. But I'll take the victory. I'll be appreciative. Don't This dude already sitting out here. Well, he's exceeded any reasonable expectation. Yes, we know Jerry, but if you start talking about that QB controversy shit,
He is. He is. It's coming. That's my only
I,
solace. My only
I want to
solace
smack
is
this.
it's about to
I
get
want to
really
smack the
annoying.
shit out this dude.
That's my only
I
solace.
want
It's
to
gonna
smack
get
the shit
really
out this
annoying here
dude.
soon. Do we
Because
do we get
because
off of
Cowboys
Cooper?
fans are
We
stupid
need
and
to get off
and
of
will start
Cooper.
that. Cowboys fans are going to start that. Well, you don't mess with the win streak. Like Haven't we done this before? Don't be
Yep.
stupid. Don't
Please
be
be stupid.
stupid. I want better
Asking
for
the country ought to
us.
be stupid. Please be stupid, bro. Please, man.
Hey,
Please be
hey,
stupid.
we weren't stupid enough to make Daniel
There
Jones
we
a
go.
top
This
10
shit.
pick.
Oh, nobody knows that more than me. Nobody hated it more than I. No one ever, no one on earth, no one on earth hated it more than me when I saw it coming. Not a
Wait, who did
single
you want
soul.
that year? I don't even remember. Who did you want that year?
The
Because
Daniel
you didn't want a
Jones year.
quarterback at all. Or did you want Haskins? Or did you not want a quarterback at all? I really don't
Who did I
remember.
want the Daniel Jones year? It wasn't Haskins. Rest in peace to the king. What?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Who did I want the Daniel Jones year? Let me look at this draft. Let's end on more pain because y'all love this shit. Let's go. Daniel Jones draft. Yeah. So this is what 2019 draft. I'll tell you exactly because you're gonna remember. I'm gonna say it out loud, and you're gonna do your little cackle, and I'm gonna end the broadcast. I need y'all to know that that's gonna happen. So y'all might as well just get ready for this shit as soon as I say it out loud. Let's see. Player selections. No, bro.
Kyler went first
All
that
right.
year, right? Like I'm
Kyler,
thinking of the right
Nick
year, correct?
Bosa, Quinnen Williams, and then Josh Allen from the Jaguars, Hawkinson,
Hmm.
Elgin Jenkins. Let's see,
Mm.
Miles Sanders, Josh
That
Jenkins.
Hawkinson
Oh
pick
my God.
don't look like
Can I
it's
just
it.
show? Okay, here we
That
go. We took. Oh, oh, I remember now. That's the year where Jacksonville Josh Allen went after Devin Bush, who I was like, I like Devin Bush. I think I just wanted. I think I was simple. I think I wanted. Where is it?
Wait, Josh Allen. Josh Allen went. Did he go fourth or did he go seventh? I'm talking about Jags. Josh Allen. Did he go fourth or seventh? I really can't
Seven.
remember.
7.
Oh, so y'all went Jones over him because y'all took him six, if
Yes.
memory serves.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We took him 6. I wanted Josh
Okay.
Allen or I wanted Devin Bush. I wanted to go defense, and we took neither. We
Devin
took Daniel
Bush.
Jones.
Devin Bush hasn't been. He hasn't
No,
been
he hasn't.
necessarily super noteworthy. He's been a fine player. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Josh Allen
Has been one
obviously
of
has
those
been
guys.
fair enough. All right. I'm not even cackling. Like, look, you took your shot at quarterback. I'm never going to knock a team for it. Where I knock a team is when they don't realize that this ain't working and you need to move on. Like, stop trying to
That
make
was
shit happen. Stop
that
trying
was
to
a
make fetch
shitty
happen. We
quarterback
knew Daniel
draft.
Jones. We knew, yes, it was because it was Jones, Haskins, Drew Lock went at the top of the second, if memory
Uh-huh.
serves. I
Yep.
want to. Was
Yep.
there somebody else
Yep.
in that group?
Yep. Kyler went first, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness.
Kyler doesn't
QB.
love football.
Kyler
Kyler don't
hates
even want to
football,
play
bro.
football.
I
Kyler
would
want
love
to
to
play
trade with you.
baseball
I just know that
and
he's
be a
not going to be in
gamer.
the league in 2 years, and it makes no sense for me to do it. Will Greer, Ryan Finley,
I don't think
like,
anybody's truly worked it. Kyler is so far and away the best, despite his limitations, because I don't think anybody
yeah,
else really
yeah, it
worked
made no
out.
sense. Hunter
All
Renfro
right,
went 149 that year, so that's great.
fair enough.
Who cares,
Any
bro?
other pain you got to get out? Or are we good?
Yeah, Daniel Jones, man, like he's like DMX said it best and stop being greedy. Like I was begging him to stop, but at least he died hoping. Like at least I died hoping that we would go 3-0. Like at least I died hoping. I was like 3-0. We got the Bears coming in. The Bears are about to cook us, bro. I Everybody saying nah, we'll rally the
The
Bears.
Bears aren't good.
You heard it here first. When we lose 30-13 to the Bears, please don't be shocked. Please don't be shocked when Justin Fields has his breakout on Sunday. Please don't be shocked. Remember, you heard it here first. Please, bro.
Fair
We're about to
enough.
get smoked. We're about to get cooked by the Bears. Cooked.
It was all good just a week ago.
No, it wasn't. It was all. It was all. It was all.
Your chest
It was just
chest was
covered
puffed
over.
out. Chest was
What
puffed
chest was
out.
puffed? My chest is always
You was
puffed out.
feeling
I lift. My chest stays
you was
puffed out.
feeling no. You was feeling good. You was feeling
I didn't
good.
feel good.
Now you've been
Man,
humbled.
I'll tell you.
Now you've been
I don't like when you
humbled.
do that money
Now
making
you've been
Mitch voice and shit. You turn into that little. I don't like that little. I'm in this broadcast and shit. You this little ass Bill Bellamy, you know how to be a player voice and shit. Get off my